the Bible.
In the beginning.
I can eat the fruit of any tree in the garden.
Except that one.
Hey! Abel!
And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Bible Broadcasts, vintage stories and hymns from the golden age of radio. I'm John Henderson. Join me as we travel through the Bible from beginning to end, as heard over the airwaves of the 20th century. Today's Bible story is Noah's Ark, told in two ways. First, an abridged reading from Genesis 6 to 9 from a broadcast on March 24th, 1946. Followed by a dramatization of the same story from a broadcast on September 24th, 1946. But before we get to our story, open your hymnal to number 375, Make Me a Channel of Blessing, from an April 1946 broadcast.
Is your life a channel of blessing? Is the love of God flowing through you? Are you telling the loss of the Savior? Are you ready His service to do? Make me a channel of blessing today. Make me a channel of blessing, I pray. My life possessing, my service blessing. Make me a channel of blessing today. We cannot be channels of blessing if our lives are not free from known sin. We will barriers be and a hindrance to those we are trying to win. Make me a channel of blessing today. Make me a channel of blessing, I pray. My life possessing, my service blessing. Make me a channel of blessing today.
And now today's story.
And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. The same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. In the self-same day entered Noah and the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons with him into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lifted above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth. and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. And God remembered Noah and every living thing that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained, until in the 10th month on the first day of the month were the tops of the mountains seen. And Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro, until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot. And she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and again sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came into him in the evening. And lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing, as I have done. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. And surely your blood of your lives will I require, at the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother, will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there be any more a flood to destroy the earth. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token, and it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you, and the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth.
The darkness will not always last. Sail on, sail on, sail on, sail on. God lives and he commands, sail on, sail on. on, sail on. God lives, and he commands, sail on, sail on.
And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, that God saw that the weakness of man was great, and every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said,
I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beasts and the creeping thing and the fowls of the air. For it repenteth me that I have made them.
Now there lived in the land at this time a man named Noah. Noah was descended from Enoch, whose grandfather was Seth, the third son of Adam and Eve. Noah was a just man, and walked with God. And God said unto Noah,
The end of all flesh is come before me. For the earth is filled with violence, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
Thy will be done, O Lord.
Make thee an ark of gopher wood. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth should be 50 cubits, and the height should be 30 cubits. A window shall thou make to the ark, and have rooms within. And the door of the ark shall thou set on the side thereof. With lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it.
I hear thy voice, and obey.
And behold, I shall bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant. And thou come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. And take thou with thee of all food that is eaten, and gather it to thee, and it shall be food for thee and for them.
Thus did Noah. And so it came to pass that many days hence he completed the building of the ark, even as the Lord had commanded him, and went unto his house at the eventide, joyous that the work was done. He found his wife weary, for she too had been working, supervising the gathering of the food.
It's finished, my dear. At last it's finished.
Well, I certainly hope you know what you're doing.
You sound tired. Is anything wrong?
Everything is wrong. Have you any idea what people are saying?
People? Saying about what?
About you, me, all of us.
What's wrong with us?
They're saying we're crazy.
I certainly don't see why.
You don't? Well, now that you've finished that
Ark?
Have you taken a good look at it?
It looks all right to me. It's just as God described it.
People don't know about that. And you must admit, it looks like a strange way for a man to spend his time.
I hadn't thought of it that way. All I know is what God told me.
Well, I'm certainly glad it's finished. I couldn't have stood another day. Look at our house, just filled with the things you've had me collecting.
Now, be patient. I'm sure we'll find a use for everything.
What on earth do you want all these animals for? Every time I open the door, something sticks its head in.
Be of good faith. I am sure God has a reason for all this.
Well, when is God going to do, what he said?
I don't know.
Do you mean to tell me that you've done all of this and you don't even know when?
No. I have told you all that God said when he came to me.
Of all people on earth, why did he have to come to you? Look at our home.
I have no idea why he came to me, but I have done everything he commanded.
I hope he's satisfied.
Hold your faith, woman. It is not for us to question what God wants or his reason for wanting it.
Oh, I know that, but does God realize our position? We can't possibly go on living among these people after the things we've done.
I can only repeat to you and to myself, have faith.
Oh, just the same, I appreciate you.
You were going to say something?
I'd better not.
The rain has come, even as the Lord promised.
Arise, Noah. Come thou, and all thy house into the ark. For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast shalt thou take to thee by sevens, and the beasts who are not clean by the two, the male and his female. Of fowls of the air also by sevens, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth.
And Noah went in with his sons and his wife and his sons' wives because of the waters of the flood. And they took with them into the ark every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing, and every fowl, every bird of every sort. And they went in with Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters prevailed and were increased greatly. And the ark went upon the face of the waters. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and sent forth a dove to see if the waters were abated off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were upon the face of the whole earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark, and the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And God spoke unto Noah, saying,
Go forth of the ark, be fruitful, and multiply. Bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. I will establish my covenant with you. Never shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there be any more a flood to destroy the earth. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which I have established between me and all flesh on the earth.
And the sons of Noah that went forth from the ark were Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. These are the 3 sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread.
Thank you for listening to Bible Broadcasts. Enjoy this week's closing hymns.
I was drifting away on life's pitiless sea, and the angry waves threatened my ruin to be. When away at my side, there I dimly descried a stately old vessel, and loudly I cried, Ship ahoy! Ship ahoy! And loudly I cried, Ship ahoy! The good captain commanded a boat to be lowered, and with tender compassion he took me on board. And I'm happy today, all my sins washed away in the blood of my Savior, and now I can say, the Lord. Bless the Lord. From my soul I can say, bless the Lord. Oh, soul sinking down 'neath sin's merciless wave, the strong arm of our captain is mighty to save. Then trust him today, no longer delay. Board the old ship of Zion and shout on your way. Jesus saves, Jesus saves. Shout and sing on your way. Jesus saves.
Trusting Jesus, wonderful guide, in his keeping safely abide. Joys eternal he will impart. Get God's sunshine into your heart. Get God's sunshine into your heart. Get God's sunshine into your heart. It will cheer you all the day, drive the gloom of life away. If you get God's sunshine into your heart, wondrous promise he will fulfill, gladly doing his holy will. Peace unending he will impart. Get God's sunshine into your heart. Get God's sunshine into your heart. Get God's sunshine into your heart. It will cheer you all the day, drive the gloom of life away. If you get God's sunshine into your heart. Friend of sinners, ever the same, willing Savior, praise his dear name. Full forgiveness he will impart. Get God's sunshine into your heart. Get God's sunshine into your heart. Get God's sunshine into your heart. It will cheer you all the day, drive the gloom of life away. If you get God's sunshine into your heart, there's a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we can see it afar. For the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall sing on that beautiful shore the melodious songs of the blessed, and my spirit shall sorrow no more, not a sigh for the blessing of rest. In the sweet We've a story to tell to the nations that shall turn their hearts to the right. A story of truth and sweetness, a story of peace and light, a story of peace and light. For the darkness shall turn to dawning, and the dawning to noonday bright. And Christ's great kingdom shall come on earth, the kingdom of love and light. We've a song to be sung to the nations that shall lift their hearts to the Lord, a song that shall conquer evil and shatter the spear and sword, and shatter the spear and sword. For the darkness shall turn to dawning, and the dawning to noonday bright. And Christ's great kingdom shall come on earth, the kingdom of love and light.
Next week on Bible Broadcasts.
Is the wood heavy, Isaac?
No, my father. It is less heavy than a lamb would be.
The road is steep, and the path is rough.
Do you permit that I ask a question?
Yes, my son. Ask, and if it be possible, I will answer.
All these days you have been sad. You have wept and been troubled. Is our journey the cause of that?
Yes, Isaac.
But you told me we go to make sacrifice to the Lord our God. In all other days, sacrifice meant rejoicing in the goodness of God.
In other days we have worshipped God with a different kind of sacrifice, my Isaac.
You mean the lamb? It is because we have no lamb for this that you are sad.
The Lord our God will provide himself a lamb, my son. We are almost at the summit.
If you enjoy these old radio shows, take a moment to give a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Thanks.
Oh!